Welcome to my podcast. I'm Amy. I'm excited to be here with you. And we are literally days away from Thanksgiving and my favorite holiday of the year, Thanksgiving. I can't think of a better day than I think that life is to be lived as Thanksgiving's always what we do, right? So in my office, I'm a real estate agent. I have a real estate team and I'm a big pumpkin pie fan. So our company, we do Pie Day. We'll give out, five, six, 700 pies to our clients and to our friends in our community. And we love to just hug their neck, hand them a pie, and tell them we're thankful for them, right? But after that, the magic begins. This started about 10 years ago. I literally showed up at our office with 10 different pies. And I said, hey, everyone, gather around. Let's sit around the table and let's tell everyone what we're thankful for. And I'll never forget that experience. As we sat around the table, and a few of the people that were talking um, had only been with us for 6 or 7 months, and they were young, and what they started to say, it caused me to really step back and take pause. Um, And one of the people said, "I'm thankful for my health." And I thought that's not typical to hear a 23-year-old say they're thankful for their health. Typically, 23-year-olds are thinking that's not even a thought on their brain. But that was what he said. And this time of so it awakened. I'm like, so I asked a question and asked a question, and surely he had had a health battle, a significant one, and he was grateful to find that he was good. But since that time, going around the room and just expressing gratitude and gratefulness for either the people, the situation, for something, it's like one of my favorite things that we do as a company. It's a bonding time. It's a time of community. It's a time of lifting our eyes off of, guys, we all have circumstances going on, and boy, there's been some pretty rough stuff out there lately. But literally lifting our eyes off, making a conscious decision to choose thankfulness. And that is such a key principle. Um, and like we get all of our agents gathered around. We have so many pies out there, and it's literally it'll be an hour, but it's one of my favorite hours of the entire year. Just tell me what you're thankful for. Tell me what we can celebrate with you. Tell me what you're thankful for. And just that attitude. And I'm telling you, I've just seen atmosphere shift. I've seen, countenances lift. I've seen things that people have walked through, like literally break off of them. And I think that when you start to have an attitude of thankfulness and you're intentional about taking your eye off the focus of what you have going on personally, and you lift up your eyes and you start to give thanks for what you have in your life, it's very hard to stay in a defeated mode. It's very hard to stay in a mode where a down mode. If you truly get into thankfulness, if you truly get into gratefulness, where you're going around and and you might be walking through your day. And guys, I've had seasons in my life. I mean, I'm 50 years old. I'm actually 51, and I've definitely had seasons in my life where I have had to really focus in and just be focused in on gratitude and what I was thankful for, and lifting up my eyes off my situation, off my circumstances. And you might think, Amy, what the heck? In my real estate market, people might think that, oh, I didn't know you've had really any difficulties. I didn't know you have problems. Guys, here is the greatest. I'm going to give you like one of the most basic things on this earth. Every human being that you come in contact is carrying something. They're carrying a burden, a pain, a heartache that they would love to see it removed, that they can't get moved. There's some area of their life they'd love to see change, and they don't have the ability to do it. If they could do it, they would have done it. So it's the great like common denominator. It's the human thing, that it's like the equalizer. It's the human equalizer. Like everybody has something. And when you realize that everybody has something, it causes you to respond to them differently. You can look at them differently. Sometimes when people are having reactions, or you have an experience with someone, you're like, "Whoa, what the?" Guys, you have no idea the news they're dealing with that day. You have no idea the heartache they're dealing with. You have no idea. And so just the whole concept of kindness, but just being, a grateful person, a person that has made a decision. And guys, it has to be a decision you make. Having a grateful, thankful attitude is a decision you make daily. Sometimes it's a decision I make hourly. You're like, "Whoa, what the heck?" No, guys, life is always beating on you. It's always trying to take your focus off of what you have to what you have not. That's a key, guys. It's always trying to take you off of what do you possess? What do you have? What gifts, talents, and abilities do you currently have? It's always trying to take you into comparison, competition, lack, nothingness. I got nothing going on. It's always trying to take you down that tube. Always. There's a constant gravitational pull to pull you down. Do you understand that? It is a gravitational pull to pull your thoughts down. It's the human condition. So it is a conscious, almost militaristic, decisive action that you take to say, I am going to be thankful. I'm thankful. I'm grateful. I'm thankful. I'm grateful. And you start to be thankful for the situations that you walk through. You start to be thankful for um, what you've gained through different things. But in the midst of hell, in the midst of walking through storms, because this is how I see it. We're like all through life, we're moving through seasons, and some of those seasons are mountaintops and some of them are valleys, right? And some of those seasons, some of those valleys, it's the place where greatest growth goes, right? It's dark, the valley. Oh, the valley. The long nights, the lonely days, the the days where you're just literally like, God, what the heck? The dark nights, right? And then we're into and then we climb up to the mountaintop. Great growth happens. Great growth happens in our dark days. If I qualify that. It doesn't always happen. If you choose gratitude, if you choose gratefulness, if you choose to think, what is this teaching me? What is this giving to me? What is this empowering me with? What is this making me more sensitive to somebody else in? Guys, if the right thing is chosen, then you have growth in that dark season of the valley. If you decide not to, you typically are going to end up in bitterness and um, cynicism, and your life won't change. You'll just go from valley to valley to valley instead of moving through seasons. I believe every human being goes through valleys, right? It's just part of our human experience. You're going to go through a valley. It rains on the just and the unjust. You're going to go through a valley, right? And you're constantly moving through those things. But what is being built in you in those seasons is preparing you for your future. So if you can thank God for them, if you can thank God in them, not maybe for them, but thank God in them for what He has given you, what He has blessed you with, um, you'll start to see things shift. And they may not shift immediately, but you're going to start to feel a lift. You're going to start to feel different, right? But it is a literal decision that you have to make. I choose thankfulness. I choose gratefulness. I choose it. And I was sitting with someone the other day and they said, Amy, our family at Thanksgiving, we go around the table and we all go around and we talk about something that we're thankful for. And it's not just surfacey stuff, it's actually something that we're thankful for. And I started thinking about that because I thought it's so powerful because when you say what you're thankful for, it's typically when you really express gratitude, when you really talk about what you're grateful for, it's because you've experienced difficulty in that scenario and that makes you much more grateful for it. True appreciation and true gratitude comes from the fact that there was potential loss there or it was difficult to achieve or it was difficult to have or it was difficult to possess. That's when true gratitude comes forth, right? I was sitting with a friend the other day, and she's gone through so many things through fertility issues and IVF and miscarriages and it just a brutal, brutal path. And many walk that path. That path is a lonely path. It's a frustrating path. It's a path, right? And people ask constantly, "Hey, are you guys gonna have kids? Are you gonna do that?" And that's a question I don't ask because I know that there could be pain linked to it, right? Um, Again, one of those scenarios that you want something, but you're struggling to make it happen, so to speak. But I sat there with just such gratefulness because she walked in and we sat in my office with her 5-week old baby. And I was so grateful. And she said, Amy, I couldn't have seen this a few years ago. We walked through this. We had so many discussions on it. And I said, isn't it amazing how much all the pain, all the struggle, all the doubt, all the everything that you went through the last 3 years was eliminated. It was eliminated as soon as you saw her?" And she said, "Yeah." I'm like, it's amazing when you actually possess what you fought so hard to obtain, you fought hard to get, you fought hard to accomplish, you fought hard to bring it to pass. The pain, the struggle, all of it, it quickly subsides in your mind, right? Because the joy that's set before you is so worth it. What you have before you is so worth it. And I think that is so interesting because it's a perspective shift. It's a possession. And she had to walk through many perspective shifts. I'm always a person that talks about flipping the script. You got to flip the script. You got to flip the script. And so many times you have to flip the script in your life to walk into it in a different way. I recently had a discussion with a friend of mine who is a doctor, and she said, "Amy, here's the thing. This is medically proven. How you take on any kind of a treatment or a medication or anything, like how you perceive it. Do you perceive it as being helpful to you? Do you perceive it as being something that's healing to you? Do you perceive it it's a great option and you're thankful for the option? If you perceive it that way, its effectiveness increases significantly because it's medically proven. So how you see it is how your body responds to it. Guys, we are like this crazy amazing like I can't even, human beings are like crazy amazing. We're intricately woven. We're soul, mind and body and spirit and we have all of this, right? And we've got this spirit and this mind that are all working together. How do you perceive it? How do you see it? Oh, yeah, I'm grateful. I'm thankful. Guys, I've walked through times, and I know you have too because it's life, right? Where you've had to literally flip the script every day, take on a different attitude about it. Every day, flip the script. And if you're walking through one of those seasons, because those seasons can seem lonely, those seasons can seem barren. They can seem so barren. I always say this scripture because it was a mantra of mine when I walked through a time when, I didn't get married till I was late in life, like 37. Didn't even start dating my husband till we were like 33, 34. And literally I walked through multiple holidays not having anybody, weekends lonely. I walked through so many seasons like that. And I would always hear this thing, sing, oh barren, sing, oh barren, sing, oh barren. That means it's a desolate place. That means it's a dry place. That means it doesn't look like anything's happening. It doesn't look like much is coming. But sing, I always think sing's joyful, sing's creative, sing's powerful, sing's not victim. Sing is taking possession of. Sing, oh barren. Sing when you don't have this going on. Sing when it looks like that. Sing, oh barren. And I used to just think about that. I would think about it and I would just prophesy my future. I'd prophesy that I had a great husband. I'd prophesy our life. And I would just speak over it. And you think, right now, Amy, you sound crazy. Well, guess what? I'm eating the fruit of my confessions. I'm eating it. I have an amazing husband. I have amazing children. But guess what? It was a process. I have walked through processes. And so many times I had to sit in thankfulness. I give thanks for this. Something is being built in me that I'm going to be well equipped. There are things that have been built in me through different things, through different trials, through different struggles that no one can take away from me. That they can't, they're just locked in. Not any human being is going to convince me of anything different than what's locked in because I've walked through things. I've seen the faithfulness of God. I've seen things happen. I know what persevering and putting one foot in front of the other does. I know what that means. But I also know the base of all of it is thankful, grateful, thankful, grateful. So I challenge you today as you walk in this season and we've just walked through, there's been some difficult things and some gut-wrenching things and some hard things. But if you could lift up your eyes for 1 minute and say, "Man, I have breath in my body today. I woke up. There must be a purpose for me. I have shelter. I have the ability to walk. I can move my body. I can talk, I can think, I can speak." Guys, when you start to say, "Oh, I'm thankful for these things," there's people laying in hospitals that would love the opportunity to be able to do that. There's people that didn't wake up today that would have loved to have woken up today, right? If you are on this earth, there is a reason to be thankful. In the deepest, darkest night, there's still something to say, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." In the real estate industry, we get involved in so many of people's. There's shifts in their life. And those shifts can be positive and they can be negative, but so often, even positive changes feel like loss. But we get in the midst of so many things, guys. I mean, divorce 50%, death, job loss. We get in the midst of those things of human suffering, of human pain. There's something moving them to have to make a decision on a home, right? And we get in the midst of those things, and we get the honor and the privilege to connect with another human being where they're at, try to strategize, bring solution, bring comfort, and just literally um, be a voice into that situation. And I always lead everything I do. I lead with gratitude. I lead with gratefulness. I lead with I'm honored to even have the opportunity. I'm honored to have it. When you lead with that, I'm honored to have the opportunity to walk through your home. I'm honored to have the opportunity to meet with you. You do things differently. You respond differently, right? It's so much different. Even like maybe you have a job you don't like to go to. And you're like, "Yeah, I have to go to work." You get to go to work. Do you know how many people would love the opportunity to go to work that can't find a job? Well, maybe not us, maybe not today, but consistently, right? Um, but even like your spouse, sometimes I think of this. Sometimes when your spouse, maybe the clothes are laying on the floor around your bed, or something's not picked up, or there's just something there that's like, really, why can't you just pick this up, or why can't you just do this? I always think to myself, someone else would love for this to be their problem. They would love for this to be their issue. Guys, it shifts perspective. It shifts it. And it takes you back into I'm grateful. I'm thankful. I'm grateful. I'm thankful. So as we enter into this Thanksgiving holiday, I encourage you to step back from your life, step back from the news, step back from your 401k or your investment accounts, or step back from all those things that are screaming negative, lack, yuck. Step back from your family dynamics that might be just literally assaulting you. Step back from them. Lift up your eyes, lift it up off that circumstance, and to begin to thank God for him. Thank God that he, not for the situation, but that he's in the situation. Thank God that he's moving the needle. Thank God that this is working out. Thank God you got health. Thank God you got breath in your body. Even if you're struggling with your health, like just to begin to just say, thank you. I woke up today. Thank you. Even if you're saying, hey, thank you, I got a good care team. Thank you, I got this. Thank you, I got that. It will lift your circumstances. It'll lift your perspective, and it'll shift your circumstances. It'll lift it and it'll shift it. I recently hopped on a plane, and I was super um, in deep thought. I was super, I don't know, I was just contemplating everything, right? And in those deep thoughts, I started to think, and I took out a notebook and I drew a line and I wrote the things this situation has taken from me and the things this situation has given from me. And I walked through what has this scenario taken, and I made the list: fear, dread, exhaustion, fear, more dread, more fear, right? And I looked at that and I thought, okay, and it's taken from me physically a bit, right? And then I looked at what the whole experience had gifted me. And I don't want to do it again, and I want to be done with it, but what did it gift me? And when I made the list of what it brought to my life: clarity, purpose, a mission. I know my tribe. I know my people. I know what I'm on this earth to do. What it brought to my life is way more than what it took. But here's the thing: if I would have stayed and not been in thankfulness, not been in flipping the script, not been in all of that, I could have easily come out like, oh, why me? Why did this happen? But when you flip the narrative and you're like, okay, there's a process. I'm walking through a process. I'm walking through it. And you begin to just really keep a constant thought of gratitude and thankfulness. Guys, it shifts things. And it shifts things not only emotionally, mentally, you start to see things different. Your perceptions change, but literally the very chemistry in your body changes. It's It's amazing. So, in this week of Thanksgiving, I challenge you to give thanks, to truly dig deep and say, man, what am I grateful for? And if you have to, make a list because some of you are walking through difficult seasons. Some of you are walking through despair, but make a list, even in those things. If you can just start to say the basic things. Oh, I have running water. I have a heated home. Like literally, guys, sometimes you have to go so base, right? When you have when things are going so opposite of what you want in your life, sometimes you have to go to the root of just basic needs and start to give thanks for it. So I am grateful for you. I'm thankful for everyone who listens to this podcast, who shares it, who likes it. I so appreciate just your feedback on it, and I'm grateful that you've taken the opportunity to listen to it. So I always want you to remember, and I want to keep it like in the forefront of your mind that truly you are more. You're created for more. You're capable of more. You're equipped for more, and you are created to be on this earth and to live the you are more life. Thanks for joining me.